set for another wonderful night's entertainment. Here is the start list, and it is for the men's floor final. Some big names in the sport you can see there. One is missing. Haruyuki Tomita is a late withdrawal. Aiki Sakaguchi, you can see it, number 8 from Japan, is his replacement. But Marian Dragulescu of Romania, Jeffrey Vamas, very, very exciting, from the Netherlands. Brandon O'Neill, a veteran Canadian who's been around for some time. Hisashi Mizutori, of course, a silver medalist already this week. Diego Hipólito, perhaps one of the favourites from Brazil for this event. Robert Gall, Fuling Liang and Sakaguchi making up a fantastic squad of gymnasts. And, well, Vamas, he could also figure in the medals. Liz?
Yes, he's made a very exciting debut here at the World Championships, and he's a particularly stylish floor worker. Some terrific combinations, and that's what we're going to need to separate them, to see who's the winner here. It's not just a case of who's got a 10 start value, but who really stands out.
Jeffrey Vamas has had plenty of support from the crowd, and well, he also believes he's had some support from our Socceroos coach, Gus Hiddink.
The crowd being behind me, hopefully it has something to do with the football coach, Gus Hiddink. So yeah, he did something good for Australia. Maybe they can do something good for me.
So the floor, not just a case of tumbling, creativity is also required.
We have Dragulescu up on floor first. Now, this is a random order that's drawn for the final. So he's actually the top qualifier coming into first position, which is a little bit of a disadvantage in a final to go up first. But tremendous worker on this apparatus.
Is a world and Olympic medalist on this event, representing Romania. Please welcome Marian Dragulescu.
He has only one wish. A single 10 would be enough for me, says Marian.
Well, remember, it'll be the last one we'd ever see if we do see one.
Time's running out. And of course, the new scoring system coming into vogue in January. But here is Dragulescu.
Double out, full out, through to a 1 1/4. Clean as a whistle. Front double, front layout.
On the line is in.
The line judge stood up and peered over and kept the flag on the table. Oh, that's a bit rough. I don't think he did what he intended to do there. The gymnasts are required to show tumbling forwards, backwards and sideways. Last line, double, double. 1 step forward, and I suspect that he has missed some difficulty in that second tumbling line.
So Dragulescu, the first of 8 finalists on this apparatus. 8 finalists in action on every apparatus, and just 1 gold medal for each apparatus.
So here we see double layout, beautiful full twist out, and punches straight into the 1 1/4, and that's a very good way to assure yourself of a clean landing.
It's so different, isn't it, this apparatus final, because they just get 1 shot at it. There he is, he's in, he's in, he's in, and he stays in. No second chances in this, Liz.
No, not at all. So you can just see here, he's got double, double. That's the end. I thought we might have seen the funny tumbling line in there, but we'll see what his start value is, and his coach is willing him to stand on his feet. The start values, interestingly, for the men, they used to have to build bonus points after 8.8, and now they've dropped it to 8.4, which in effect has to they have to have more difficulty now than they had last year to get a 10 start value. And his score is going to come up very shortly.
Jeffrey Vamos, in the meantime, like Dragulescu, waits. Good crowd has come in again tonight for this third day of action. And if it's anything like last night, we've got a lot to look forward to. Dragulescu's score is coming through now, and it is a 9.6.
212.
212, there you can see. 9.212.
Of course, the start value just a 9.6, so I think that second line costing him dearly.
Here is Jeffrey Vamos. Someone forgot to tell him that we've claimed Gus Hiddink as an Australian now. It's one of the things we do.
And why not?
Oh.
Nice first line, a little bit short on the tuck front fall at the last moment. Now in the first round of competition, he did very well on this second line, but last in the apparatus all-round final, he had trouble right here. And he's managed to get through. It looks a bit laboured, but nevertheless, okay. And a sky-high double Arabian just as a nice little side pass.
There goes the 1 minute buzzer.
Double layout, punch front. I think we should mention that some of these men have competed in 3 rounds of competition this week. The qualification, the all-around final, and now the apparatus finals. And Jeffrey Vamos is one of those. And others have done qualification and will just do the apparatus final today. So they'll be a little bit fresher. And I think we're seeing here with Vamos, he's looking a little bit leg weary. That's that nice 2.5 twist combination row. Now watch this tuck fall. He's just a little bit messy and doesn't quite get it all the way around.
The all-around, he struggled. He scored an 8.487.
Yeah, and it was on this line here. That's a double twist forward, front layout, 1.5. And once again, he's having a little bit of trouble with his elevation.
You've got to remember he's only 18 years of age, however, and he's making his World Championship debut. He has yet to make an appearance at the Olympic Games, but I'm sure we'll see him at Beijing.
Coach has a bit of a wry smile there. His sister Gabrielle was all on the women's national team for the Netherlands.
Now, first up, the score he has to beat is 9.212. That is the score that was adjudged to Marian Dragulescu. It's a very simple equation, this. You get one crack at it, and the best score takes the gold. 9.537. So Jeffrey Vamos goes to the top ranking at the moment. He leads. This is Brandon O'Neill from Canada. He won the floor earlier this year at the Glasgow Grand Prix.
He's had a stellar season. He's actually won a stack of gold medals on floor on the circuit. And that's called a Russian. Beautiful straight Arabian 1 3/4 saltos. Very smoothly performed. Double to finish, a tiny bit low, but terrific floor routine from Brandon O'Neill, following the footsteps of Kyle Schofield, who won the gold medal on this apparatus in Athens. So Canada producing some wonderful floor workers in recent history.
Yes, he was the national champion back in 2000, and since then has gone from strength to strength with Commonwealth Games experience, World Cup experience.
Combination rows are generally picking up a lot of bonus points. Just a little bit of a slip with the foot there, but no, too much harm done. Showing good amplitude, nice and high, double, tiny bit low with his shoulders at the end, and that can be the difference between gold and silver here.
Long way to come for one apparatus. A start value of 10 and a score of 9.625. That places him at the #1 ranking for the moment. So it is O'Neill from Vamas and then Dragulescu. This is Hisashi Mizutori we've come to know well.
Our next competitor is the World 2005 silver medalist, representing Japan, Hisashi Mizutori.
He is relatively inexperienced at this level, competed in the Olympic Games, but this is his first World Championship.
Scored 9.432 in the all-around.
Double twist, combination, nicely done. Second combination row, a little short. And that's a triple Russian, which is known as a Fedorchenko. Very impressive wide arm handstand for his balance move. And that's an interesting tumbling line. It's a 1 3/4 salto with a 1.5 twist. I have to say he's looking a little bit leg weary as well. It's interesting to see the ones who've done the all-around competition, to me, look just slightly less fresh or something.
I guess the other thing to take into consideration is there is no warm-up period as such for this in the all-around. They train up to probably half an hour, 20 minutes before the action gets underway. They're out here, and then they get one crack at it, and that's it.
Yeah, there's no 30-second touch for the athletes. Normally they come in, they get a little bit of orientation, their bearings.
Get a feel.
Yeah, and the equipment out in the back gym is just a little bit different feel, because this gym is on a podium, which is 0.8 of a metre raised surface, and it is quite a different feel, particularly on floor. It's got a different spring to it, so sometimes it can throw them out. There's that 1 3/4 with 1.5 somersaults. I can hardly say it in the time that he does it. And that's 2.5 twist and front summy to finish. The other thing, of course, after having won an all-around medal, you wonder how hungry they are for the apparatus medals, and maybe these specialists are coming in and they're that little bit hungrier.
There's a start value you can see on the left of 9.6, and the score at 9.125 ranks him at 4. And that probably tells us why Hiroyuki Tomita has withdrawn.
Well, he's withdrawn on this apparatus. At this point, he is on some other ones, so...
Here's one to watch, Diego Hipólito from Brazil.
Nice combination line. They're so hard to time correctly. Side salto, nicely done. He's showing mastery on this apparatus. Now they have to show some sort of a balance element in their routine. He's choosing a high V-sit right up on his fingertips. Now this last line is a particularly difficult one. He's attempting a front landing or from a double front. Had trouble, a little bit of trouble with it in the qualification, just scraped through to the final. But good today.
Well, the last two World Championships, he has finished fourth. I think maybe his coach thinks this time he might just go one better and medal. What a performance from Diego Hipólito, the 19-year-old from Brazil.
Well, the men have never medalled on this apparatus at a World Championship, so they'll be absolutely thrilled if they make it this time. But his front tumbling line is beautifully balanced between height and rotation, and that's what makes it so hard to set it up exactly as it needs to be, bounding from one somersault to the next. And there's a combination line between twisting and somersaulting. Here's his little side salto. I have to show some tumbling lines that go sideways, and that's his. But this last line is very impressive. It's very ambitious to do something like this. Double front, and really does it well.
A starting value of 10, and look at the score. 9.675. He's wrapped. Ranked 1. Look at that.
Well, his sister's here watching him. She's actually competing here as well, so it's a family affair.
Here's Robert Gall, our next competitor, 26-year-old veteran from Hungary. Hungary looking for its first medal on the floor at a World Championship.
The standard here is out just amazing. A little bit bent legs on that twist. I'm not so sure he meant to do that. Flares, up to handstand, back down to flares. Finishing with a 2.5 twist, a little bit of a messy landing, and I don't think that's going to be enough to get in ahead of Hipólito or O'Neill. In fact, I think he'll be very lucky to push up into the top 3 with that routine. Here's the man who's winning so far, Diego Hipólito. It's going to take a massive effort to beat him. Robert Gall has had a very good year, winning over 10 medals on the World Cup Tour. Matters not now though, just looking at him, his combination pass. A lot of the men finishing with that 1 1/4 salto because certainly easier to control the finishing position. Double twist forwards, front tuck, and a 1.5 twist in tuck, and that, I don't know if it's supposed to be in tuck, of course that would devalue the element. And short on the twist and a little bit of an awkward landing.
Don't forget, coming up shortly, we've got Monet Russo on the uneven bars and Prasant Saluthray on the pommel horse. Great action for the Aussies, and let's see if Monet can emulate her wonderful feats of last night. Robert Gall, there you can see his score. It leaves him in 3rd place at the moment, a 9.587. So Hipólito leads. O'Neill is 2nd. Gall is 3rd. Jeffrey Vamas is 4th. Right now, Yang Fu-Ling.
Shoulders down on that landing. Very high pass there. Double twist forward was exceptionally high. 1.5 Full 1.5 combination. There's his flares up to handstand, back down to flares, and using a spindle, which is a 360-degree twist with the hips. Well, he's got everything going there. Looks leg weary. And getting back to this concept of the all-arounders being a little bit more weary, of course he would have competed 12 routines between qualification and all-around final. Now this is his 13th routine, and then you have somebody who comes in like Hippolyto who might have competed 2 or 3 routines. It's a big difference on load in the body.
And Hippolyto at the moment is guaranteed a medal. We just don't know which colour.
That's a very nice high double twist forwards front summy and then a 1 3/4 out. And using his pommel horse ability to good advantage on floor. Here's another picture of his second tumbling line.
Start value of 10 and a score of 9.587.
It's actually equal
with Gal.
But there are tiebreaker rules here in place, and
we won't ask you to explain the tie-breaking system, Liz, because I think we're off air in a couple of hours.
It's very complicated to say the least, but let's say it's a mathematical equation.
Here's Aiki Sekiguchi coming in to replace Haruyuki Tomita.
Two nicely controlled combination lines to open his floor routine. And that's a 2.5 twist forward. That's really hard to do. Here's his balance move, and quite often they will use a balance move as a little resting point. And this is looking a very, very good floor routine. Full in, back out.
Oh, just in. Right on the line is in.
The standard's brilliant, isn't it?
See, he is one who is fresh.
Yes, he is a little bit fresher. The Japanese men, of course, have a brilliant record at this level. Won so many titles at world and Olympic levels, but not for a long time. I think the last title
74.
Was, world title 74. So
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your eyes on the scoreboard.
Suspect that this is not enough to push Hippolyto out of the lead. It's good, but I don't know if it's got that same level of class.
Hippolyto at the moment is leading with 9.675. Brandon O'Neill from Canada is in second place with a 9.625.
You've got to keep the coaches happy, don't you?
Sekiguchi very, very anxious. He has a start value of 9.8, so his score is down. It's 9.437.
He knows he's got...
And look at this. Diego Hippolyto wins the gold medal. Brandon O'Neill, you can see there, wins the silver, and Robert Gall of Hungary, the bronze.
Brandon O'Neill, and in third from Hungary and China, Robert Gall and Gall.
He just can't believe it. Well, he's been knocking on the door for quite some time. World Championships 02, he was 4th on floor. 2003, he was still 4th on floor. And now into that gold medal position.
And Liz, just checking those final scores, because there is a tie for third with Robert Gall is Fueling Lang, both with 9.587, but the goal to Diego Hippolito. A break and more shortly from Rod Laver Arena.
Why did you drop that bomb on me? So baby, let's get it on. Drinking wine and killing time, sitting in the summer sun.
So the men's floor final decided, and Diego Hippolito absolutely delighted. And I can assure you that's not his sister. It is his sister. Well, it's good to see they're so close. No, it's fantastic, isn't it? And really, it's somewhat of a changing of the guard as we look ahead now and we look at the start list for the women's vault final. That is coming up next. Don't forget, still to come also, Monette Russo a little bit later on, but there are some wonderful stories in this group of 8 gymnasts.